Today we're going to talk a little bit about the double under. It's a movement that can be pretty frustrating for most CrossFitters, especially those just coming into CrossFit, because it's something that looks relatively simple when you watch somebody experience doing it, but there's some things that you can do to really make sure you can nail down this movement. And when we're talking about upper body, a couple things you want to keep in mind. Wrist, you want below your elbow, and you want to keep your hands out in front, slightly out in front of you when you're moving. As you twirl the rope around, you want to make sure that that movement is also in the wrist, not so much in the elbow. Okay? We'll have Cary do a couple double unders here just to demonstrate what we're talking about. So you can see his wrist is definitely below his elbow. Hands are just slightly out front. He's keeping a pretty tight loop with his wrist, really using his wrist to whip that rope around. One of the other problems that people have when they do double unders is they're not quite sure what to do below the waist. So a lot of times what happens is they either get into almost a donkey kick or kind of a pike where they break at the knee and the hip. But what we want to look for is more of a streamlined, straight position. So when we watch Cary do some double unders here, if we're just watching below the waist, he's very quick off the ground. His feet are very close together. Very little break at the hip, and just a quick bend at the knee and at the ankle to pop himself off the ground. You also notice that he's not jumping very high off the ground. He only has to clear about 1 centimeter of cable underneath his feet to complete the double under. We took a minute to take a look at what you need to do to be a little bit better at double unders, but now we're going to talk a little bit about why you need to do that and what can happen when you don't. So the first thing we talked about was the upper body. We wanted wrist below the elbow and hands slightly in front of the body. I have a nice amount of slack on the ground right now of the rope that's on the ground when I'm in this proper position. But then as I slowly start to maybe move my hands back and up a little bit, as you notice, the rope gets lifted up. Even if it's just a little bit, that's all it really takes for it to run into your feet. And that's also why when people get into this bad upper body position, you start to notice breaking at the hip and the knee, because you feel like you have to now get your feet higher off the ground or higher than you feel you can jump to enable that rope to pass underneath you. So again, we just want to keep nice and tight with the feet and knee, wrists down below the elbow, hands slightly in front of the body, gives you that proper amount of slack right in front of your feet.